Welcome to the Explainer. So, if you're an AI developer, you've probably faced this headache. How do you build an application that can work with any AI model when every single one of them has its own unique and often totally incompatible way of doing things? Well, today, we're going to get to the bottom of that. Let's dive in.
You know, when you first start building with large language models, it seems pretty simple. But the moment you want to swap between different models, you just hit a brick wall. I mean, just look at the code here. An API call to OpenAI is structured completely differently than one for Anthropic. The official term for this is subtly incompatible, which, let's be honest, is a very polite way of saying they'll completely break your app. This whole mess forces you to pick a side and locks you into a single provider.
So this leads us to the big question for this entire explainer, right? How do you break free? How can you possibly design an application that's truly independent, one that can use the power of any model from any provider without you having to rewrite everything from scratch every time a new, better model comes along?
And the answer lies in a really elegant philosophy from a framework called LangChain. Instead of trying to wrangle all those different APIs, LangChain's big idea is to create a standard set of building blocks, a universal toolkit for AI development.
The best way to think about this is like Lego bricks. Seriously, each component in your AI application, the language model, the prompt you give it, a tool to fetch data, is treated like a standardized block. And because they all share the same shape and connection points, you can just swap them out. Want to try a new model from Google instead of OpenAI? No problem. Just unplug one block and plug in the other. Just like that, your application is basically future-proof.
Now, the technical term for this kind of magic is abstraction. It's a core concept in software engineering. LangChain basically creates these simple, easy-to-use wrappers that hide all the messy, provider-specific details. So from your application's point of view, all models and tools look and behave exactly the same. LangChain handles all that complex translation work for you behind the scenes.
Okay, so how does LangChain actually do this? What's the secret sauce that makes all these different building blocks compatible? It all comes down to one powerful universal concept. And this is it, the Runnable. You can think of it as the shared DNA of every single component in the entire LangChain ecosystem. It doesn't matter if you're dealing with a massive language model, a simple prompt template, or a complex data parser, they all share this exact same core interface. This is the standardized connection point on our Lego bricks.
And the beauty of the Runnable interface is its simplicity. It really just comes down to the three main methods you see here. Invoke takes a single input and gives you a single output. Batch lets you do the same thing but for a whole bunch of inputs at once, which is way more efficient. And Stream gives you the output piece by piece as it's generated, which is perfect for things like chatbots. And that's it, a simple, predictable standard for everything.
So now that we get the architecture, these interchangeable blocks all speaking the same runnable language, let's look at the payoff. What does this actually get you as a developer? This is huge. It means you gain true provider independence. Your application becomes future-proof. When a new groundbreaking model is released, you can adopt it without a massive rewrite. You could even use an OpenAI model and an Anthropic model in the same conversation, picking the absolute best tool for each specific task. You are no longer locked in. You have the freedom to choose.
Okay, so we have our standardized blocks. The next logical question is, how do we actually connect them to build something useful? What's the glue?
The answer is something called the LangChain Expression Language, or LCEL. The key word here is declarative. Instead of writing complex, step-by-step instructions, you simply declare how you want your blocks to be connected, and LangChain figures out the most optimized way to run it all. And this right here is the real aha moment. It brilliantly shows just how simple it is. You don't write complicated loops or functions to connect your components. You just use this pipe symbol. It literally means take the output of the prompt and pipe it as the input to the model. Because everything is a runnable, you can compose incredibly complex logic with this beautifully simple and intuitive syntax. And so we come full circle. We started with that fundamental challenge of building AI applications, turning a messy human input into a useful, accurate output. By creating a world of standardized, interchangeable building blocks that you can compose with a simple, declarative syntax, LangChain provides a really elegant and powerful solution to that very problem.
Which leaves us with one final exciting thought. In a world where any AI model, any data source, or any tool can be just another interchangeable building block, what does that empower you to build next?